Hey guys, Ricardo here and welcome to another blog tech tips. In today's tutorial guys, we'll show you how to fix the issue where your Samsung remote is not working. Alright, so if you have one of these Samsung remotes, it might be slightly different for you, newer or older. And of course, it's not working to with your TV. We're going to show you how to troubleshoot the problems that tend to plague these remotes. Now, of course, one of the main issues that tend to happen is that your remote is not working because the power button is dead, meaning the power button was damaged. Now, children tend to spam these buttons, and as a result, they tend to go dead. And of course, you may want to check to see if that's happening. To rule that out, if your remote is not responding to your TV, go ahead and try to find a physical button. Usually, in every TV, it's usually around here where you see the logo. Don't know if you can see this clearly. There's a Samsung logo right here. If you feel just beneath it, you will find a button. And of course, it's a round button oftentimes, and of course it's raised, and of course it should feel press when you go ahead and press it. So go ahead and press for 10 seconds. Once you hold it for 10 seconds or so, you should be able to power on the TV. All right, so just go ahead and try. For some TVs, hold for 10 seconds and it will come right on. For some TVs, a little bit different. All right, so for Samsungs, go ahead and do a solid press. Not press and hold, I should say. So that's a correction. Some TVs is press and hold for 10 seconds and come on. For Samsungs, it's more of a press. So just go ahead and solid press once. If it doesn't come on, press it twice. And so on until it comes on. So you see the TV powers on. To rule out the power button, if it does come on, go ahead and do a volume up or volume down test. Notice I'm able to adjust the volume. So if it was unable to come on with the power and volume works, the problem is the power button. So you'll be able to use the remote still, however the TV will not power on. So from now on, you might only be able to power on your TV by physically powering it on and then using the remote as normal. When you need to power it off, either unplug it and plug it back in. Some TVs, it remember its state it was in. So for example, I know it's true for the LGs, not sure for the Samsungs, where if I keep it in an on state and unplug it from the wall or the outlet, and as soon as I plug it back in, it will automatically come on. Now, some TVs have a option to shut down in their menus. Not everyone, I think the TCL has that one, or to restart. You can always go into the menu and shut down, but I don't think it's on this one. I'm not sure. We'll have to double check that. But if there's a way, I don't remember if I did a tutorial on that. So if there's a way, you should see another video with that of mine. But in the meantime, that's how you get around that. All right, so if that is not the case and you're not getting anything out of the remote itself might be defective, or of course the batteries might be dead. So we're going to go ahead and open up this one. As you can see, these are the batteries that came originally with this one. Go ahead and make sure that these are oriented in the correct way. You can go ahead and switch these out, get a fresh pair and try the remote just to make sure. If it's not working with a fresh pair, it might be that you have placed these in wrong. So go ahead and remove them. And of course, to make sure you're orienting them correctly, I don't know if you can see, there's a battery joint. Make sure it's the right battery. Second, make sure that these terminals are not rusted or damaged. Look out for leakage. If there's a leakage, it might be that, especially leave these remotes for long with the wrong type of battery. They might leak over time and of course damage the remote. If there's a leakage and you're seeing liquid on the inside, it means that the batteries ended up leaking and damaged the remote. In that case, the remote might be totally dead or partially working. All right, so make sure that the batteries are set correctly. So the positive end is up here, the negative end is down here according to the joint. Place them in and slide them in. All right, another thing to do is to make sure they're oriented correctly. Some batteries are very peculiar, meaning if they are turned incorrectly, it will not work. So you can try turn to the label side up. In some cases, that is it. For some, it doesn't really matter. It can be turned anyway. Some, it might just like this way. So make sure all of those things are checked. And once everything is okay, if it's not making correct contact or if they're corroded, you may want to rub off those springs to make sure that electricity can flow. Second thing, if there's not enough contact, you can use a piece of foil just to bridge the gap. All right, that's another thing we find working, especially in a very old remote. Once you have eliminated batteries, corrosion, damage through dust or dirt or whatever it is, if all of those things check out, and of course you are good, Then of course, if it still doesn't work, it might be that this is a dead remote. So these TVs don't only come with a single remote. So in that case, you'll have to look a new one. A replacement can be found online. Always look down here. So you're gonna go to Amazon and you're gonna search for Samsung OEM. That stands for Original Equipment Manager, meaning an original Samsung remote, or it can be a third party as well, depends on the quality. So you search for Samsung and you search for this code, and of course a remote's gonna come up. You can buy a replacement. It will work with the TV. If that's not working, you can buy a universal remote and then program it to the TV. Doing that should get the TV to respond to your new remote. What I've found is that you can use a combination of these. Another thing that works, especially if you don't want to buy a new remote, or if it's just a power button, is that you can download the Samsung app or try to find a Samsung remote app, download it to your phone from the Play Store, connect it via Bluetooth, and of course control your TV via the Bluetooth. If there's such a app, I'll do a tutorial on that and show you how to control the TV through their phone, which is going to be a separate tutorial, so you can always search for that or look out for that. All right, so those tips are able to help you in solving problems with your remote simply not working on your Samsung device. All right, guys, so this is a tutorial from me, and do note this works for any TV, whether it be Samsung, any brand, old, new, or of course even newer brands. If you have any direct questions, you can always ask me below. I'm willing to help out any way I can. As always, guys, Ricardo from Blog Tech Tips saying goodbye until next time. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.